What up, 2K Heads? 2K OG here with another video. We're doing another one of these. I rate your team. More or less, not really rating your team. It's trying to help. Give some input on maybe some cards that you hadn't used. Really, I just use a lot of cards, obviously, because I do content. But before we get into this, if y'all would hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, leave a comment, share the video. It all helps. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers. And before I started this video, I literally looked at it and we were 2 subscribers away. So I'm sure at the end of this video cycle, which normally lasts about a week, we'll be at 3,000. But before we get into it, I'll just go ahead and say I appreciate y'all, everyone who sends in a screenshot of the team and allowing me to look at it and try to help you out if I can. All right, we'll get into this first one with Delta Dan. I can't see your whole name because the screenshot kind of cut a little bit of it off. But I'm looking at most of your cards, and you have a solid team. I like your bigs. I like the point guards. Your shooting guards are good, and I even like that you got Glenn Rice over Paul George because Glenn Rice is an absolute beast. Like, I used the card and it was hard for me to sell a card, but I was just trying to get my MC up. That's the only reason I sold them back. I had one that had 35 legend badges on them. Either way, looking at your team, you don't have many cards that you can sell to start with. This Mark Eden looks sellable, and I think Cade Cunningham is sellable. It's kind of hard to tell from the picture because the brightness kind of blends in the unsellable mark. But those 2 cards, I can't really think of if you sold them, who could you get that would be better, that was cheaper. I don't really see any glaring holes. Like, the biggest thing would probably be Kawhi Leonard, but I mean, you can keep him there. Or I tell you what I would do, just to add a little bit size to the team, and to me it would balance out a little bit better. Your starters, for the most part, are a little bit taller than the backup team. Well, for me, that's the way I like to do it. So I would take Paul George and move him to the 3, put Kawhi at the 2, or take Tim Thomas and move him to the starting 3, move George to the backup 3, and then Kawhi at the 2. So that way you can have somebody on ball defending, or move Glenn Rice to the 3, depending on what you like. I like Glenn Rice at the 2. Between him and George, I don't think it's much difference, but I would definitely probably move George to the 3. Sorry about baby girl in the background. For whatever reason, I'm doing a video. She feels like she wants to talk. But yeah, you don't have a lot of MT to really any MT to make a move. So just looking at that, it's real tough. It's basically switching players around. Just off the top of the head, maybe you could trade that Cade Cunningham and get Ron Harper, who me personally, I think is a little bit better. Some people might not believe it, but I would do that and take the MT from selling Cade and maybe selling Mark Eden, and taking those 2, combining it, and getting Mutombo to be your starting center, and then have Ron Harper as your backup point guard. If just the idea, if you wanted to switch it up a little bit. But I would definitely move Kawhi to that backup 2. And it's your preference between George and Thomas who goes to the starting 3. But yeah, that's the only thing I could see, is, not having a lot of MT to be flexible with, it limits it. If you can sell like Cade Cunningham, me personally, I would sell him, and I would sell Eden, pick up Ron Harper, who's dirt cheap. Or if you had the event pieces, I'm biased towards Cedric Maxwell. That's another guy you could bring in and start him at the two, and or you can start him at the three because he's 6'8", uh, and replace Kawhi altogether. But if you like Kawhi better than Paul George or whoever you like the least, push them to the bench. And that's a free card. You just play a couple games for him. All right. Yeah, so my recommendation would be sell Cade, sell Eden, pick up Mutombo, get Ron Harper, and potentially you can get Richard Jefferson or Cedric Maxwell. And I say I'm biased towards Maxwell because I just personally like the card better. But some people might like Jefferson better. So either way, I think it would be an upgrade over Kawhi because both of them have way better movement. Their defense is pretty good. Maybe not high end like Kawhi is, but good enough that you won't really notice a difference. All right, let's jump into the next one. Let's see. We started down here at the bottom. I don't know. Yeah, that one. All right. Let's read what he has. Trying to get his team rated. Only have Ben Simmons, Larry Bird, Taco, and Dikembe sellable. Around 400K total. Let's see. A little hard to see this team. Let's see if I can zoom in some. It may not zoom in for y'all. It's not even zooming in for me. Okay, this is quite hard to see. My bad. I thought it would pop up better and I'd be able to zoom in more, which normally it lets me. So I don't know what's going on. I gotta pull it up on my phone. I can zoom in good on my phone. All right. My bad. I'm still learning this. I'm looking at the team, and I think y'all can see it. He has Ben Simmons. This is the starting lineup. Ben Simmons, Larry Bird, Paul George, Tim Duncan. I was about to say Hardaway, and Taco. Very solid lineup. And we go to the backups. He has Shea, my guy Cedric Maxwell. I don't know what this guy's name is because I can't really read it. Radmatovich or something like that. The 76ers, the Supersonics small forward that just came out. I can't see his name well enough, and I don't know his name. Rad, I'll just call him that. He has 100 overall Shaq, and he has Mutombo. Me personally, I like Shaq and I like Mutombo over Tim Duncan, so I would move that. And he said he has like 400,000 MT. So with the 400,000 MT, kind of similar to the other guy's team, I would actually move Cedric Maxwell to the start, just over Bird. Me personally, if you like Bird better, keep him there. Another option would be to go get, let's see, I wouldn't mess with the centers because I like his centers. I like his bigs. Tim Duncan's a free big. Who upgrades this team? I don't know what Klay Thompson is going for. You got 400K. Glenn Rice. I think Glenn Rice is much better, way better than Larry Bird. Now, you might not believe me, but I'm telling you, that jump shot is a beast. But that would be an upgrade to me. If you, I don't see anybody that's sellable on your team that you could replace with somebody that's equal, that's lesser. I mean, if this is a big if you wanted to get rid of Mutombo, say Mutombo, put Kareem in there. I wouldn't do it, but it's just the option. Put Kareem in there. You could free up some MT, and then I don't really know. I wouldn't say I'd change. Nah. Just keep Mutombo. I like Matumbo that much. If I could have got him, I'd go get him back. It's not a whole lot to do to this team. I mean, really, it's a solid team. If you don't do anything, it's a team that can, I feel like, can compete at a high level. That Rad Matovich guy, I've never used him. You know, all these other cards I've used at some point in time. I'm not the biggest fan of Larry Bird. I don't know what it is about his jump shot. His movement is great. It's just his jump shot and sometimes his defense be lacking. For me, I had him running the two, and he didn't last long. I played him about 4 games, and then I kind of pushed him to the side. But I like that Glenn Rice card, and with that 400 MT, I mean 4,000, 400,000. Sorry, MT. That would be a good pickup. I'm trying to think of some budget cards that would fit in there, but I can't really think of anybody that stands out that's better than the guys that you got for that price range. You know, you kind of got to go to Invincibles because you got a bunch of 100 overalls, and the Red Matovich. I haven't used him, but I heard a lot of good things about him. Cedric Maxwell, him and Taco are probably my two. Well, him, Taco, and Dikembe are my top dark matter cards in the game. So yeah, I mean, solid team. Again, not a whole lot to do, or a lot that you could do to really make the team much better. Because some people don't like Paul George, but I've been playing him lately, and I kicked him out of my lineup, and he's been giving me work. Like, it's crazy. I think I might bring him back into the lineup. It's been that bad. Like, it's almost like the card has been unstoppable. And I played plenty of different people, and I beat the people, but it's just Paul George's been playing extremely well. Yeah, Glenn Rice, I feel like would be an upgrade over Larry Bird. But again, personal preference. And maybe even moving Larry Bird to the 3 on the backups over that Romanovich card. Sell him and still have some MT. I don't know what he's going for, but maybe getting a badged up Glenn Rice as your starting 2. I think you'd be happy with that. Or putting Cedric Maxwell in there. I don't know how you have him badged up. Again, these are things that, minor things that I think you would be impressed with. All right, let's jump into this third and final one. Let's see. This one I just got. All right. I've been a fan for a while, and see some people who were sending you teams for suggestions. He said he got 500 KMT now, and was wondering if he should start Cedric Maxwell. Said he's a demon for him. Then Rick Barry is the backup, and moving Kawhi to the backup 3. Should I just leave it as is? Said he was open to suggestions. All right, I can see this team a little bit better. He said he has 500K now. He has Magic right now, starting anyway. He has Magic, Kawhi, Bird, David Robinson. That's one I'm gonna get rid of. Oh, and he's sellable. Oh yeah, David Robinson gotta go. Then he has Mark Eden, which I think Mark Eden's a fine card. Paulo and Tim Duncan can stay. It's Wemby. I don't know how he has him badged up, and I don't know how much you like him. But he would be one, I would replace him and David Robinson. You have 500,000 MT, I would at least get the Opal Wemby, if nothing else. But a card that I think you would be really happy with. And I would actually, if you could sell this Wemby, David Robinson, and Mark Eden. I don't know how much you like Mark Eden. Rick Smits and Mutombo. I would probably go Rick Smits, Mutombo. Then we would have an issue with your backup big, center. Because I don't think Tim Duncan's a center. So maybe not do that. Maybe you can just get rid of David Robinson. If you really like Mark Eden, I would get rid of Robinson, and I would put Mutombo in that spot right there. It's your starting four. And you could keep Wemby because I don't know, he doesn't go for that much. Kawhi, I would definitely start Cedric over Kawhi, and I would put Barry over Kawhi. Now, I wouldn't put Kawhi over Paolo, but I would put George over Paolo. So yeah, just switching this up just a little bit. I don't know how good you are with Castle, but if you like defensive-minded point guards, a card that I'm recommending to a lot of people, really good card, really cheap card. Ron Harper. If nothing else, putting him on a bench as your backup point guard in case someone gets hurt. He was going for like 35,000 MT. Super solid card. He played to me well above what he was rated, but I got invincibles everywhere. That's the only reason I pushed him out. But a team, if you're trying to build a team and you have the opportunity to slot a guy in that's cheap, that's one guy off the bench that you could get for next to nothing. Let's see. So yeah, I would, if I was you, I would try out that. Sell David Robinson. I'm not a fan of David Robinson. Just not. Mutombo's much better. He's bigger. He seems just as fast. You won't notice the difference in speed. I think he's a 91 and Robinson's a 96. His jump shot is more consistent. His defense is actually better. And I feel like you can't really lose upgrading Mutombo David Robinson for Mutombo. But yeah, Cedric go to starting, like you said, move Barry to the backup two. I would put Paul George, unless you don't like Paul George, I would put Paul George in at the backup three. Because if nothing else, he's another lockdown. And Barry, then that way you can kind of hide Barry on the weaker wing and let Castle be on the point guard. Just to balance the team out. But yeah, that would be the big thing to go do. If you could get Rick Smits, you probably like the card. His jump shot is immaculate. If you hadn't seen the gameplay, go check that out. I think I had like 28 with him. I was surprised how he was shooting. Knockdown shooter. And he was finishing with crazy dunk animations, reverse layups, a little bit of everything. So, but Rick Smits, I think, cost a little bit more than Mutombo does. I could be wrong. You might be able to snipe one for about 500K, because I think I sold mine for 731K. If you could find one for around 7K. Now, he is 84 in speed. So, for me, he would be the type of person that would replace Mark Eden. I think he has a better jump shot. Eden has a better playability. He's bigger. I think the defense is about the same. I might give the little edge to Eden. But if you just want to try a new card, you could probably squeeze that in. If you sold David Robinson and Eden, I don't know what Eden's going for, but I would say David Robinson probably 100K, 200K. Go get you Mutombo. You'll be happy with that. But I think that's about it. But yeah, the rest of your team is solid. I mean, Castle's a great defender. That Ron Harper card is one, like I said, you could pick him up for about 35K unless he went up. He was going dirt cheap. Moving Cedric to the 2, Kawhi will get pushed out of the starters. Well, get pushed out of the rotation pretty much altogether. He'd be the third guy on the bench in case somebody got hurt. I'd have him, Ron Harper, and Willis Reed. And I'm not a fan of Paulo. Like I said, I've heard a lot of bad stuff, and he's not much better stat-wise, but animation-wise, he's not much better than his Opal. So, yeah, I would pass on him, and maybe that's somebody you can have off the bench. He's a tweener. Yeah, that'll wrap it up though. Still a solid team. Every team, just a little tweak here and there, I think it can make a big difference. But that Mutombo card, you'll like a lot more than David Robinson. He's just, I think most people would agree, he's a better David Robinson. He's just 91 in speed, but I think he does everything else better. But if y'all watched to the end of this video, if y'all would hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, leave a comment, share the video. It all helps. I appreciate y'all as always. Until next time.